Hey friends, it's me, the Ebony Otaku, coming to you from my husband's office. That's it as it goes over here. The well-rounded nerd. I am correcting mistakes today. So I'm sitting in my husband's chair. So I wanted you to see more of what I'm doing here than me. But this is my first G-Dubs official vehicle I built. This is a Land Raider Spartan. Girl, it's missing pieces. Yeah, I know. Um, just wait. Scoot that over. Come here, grabbing my box. And then mine and my husband's offices look very different. I cannot wait to redecorate his office. But one house project at a time. I'm just gonna air out my shame completely today. So where's the other gun? Yeah, here it is. Um, this is not my best work. Building is not my forte. I really enjoy painting. I'm really enjoying learning how to use my airbrush and do all kinds of really cool stuff. Closing up my case. I have a tournament this weekend, and I've got my case in here to make repairs to a couple of things. I've got a 30K tournament, Devastation of Kairos Prime, and at Adepticon, I'm doing Devastation of Kairos Prime and um, Zone Mortalis. Yeah, so doing both of those games, which by the time this video comes out, Adepticon would have passed. But yeah, I'm looking at the time of filming. I'm looking forward to Adepticon. But that's another reason I'm doing this. So this, back to where I was. This is the first vehicle I built. It came in that box right there. That is the Horus Heresy Age of Darkness box. It comes with two armies. So there's a dreadnought in there. I've not built the contemptor out of there. I bought a separate contemptor for my Emperor's Children. The other half of the army that's in there is going to be salamanders. The one I've already built are Emperor's Children. It comes with 10 Terminators, like 40 just regular troop Space Marines, your Praetors, two Praetors, one vehicle. So I decided, since it was two armies in there and I'm keeping both armies, I'm not splitting them with my husband or anything, that'd make the tank neutral so I could use it for any army basically. And this was the first vehicle build I ever did. I've built dreadnoughts, I've built troops, I've built the Praetor. The dreadnoughts were a little bit of a struggle, but I actually got those built pretty well. But this just the first thing I did was when I put the sponsons and sponson holders on, I put them and the guns on upside down, and I had already glued them. I was rushing to get this tank done because 6, 7 months ago I was in my first 30K tournament. I really wanted to come with my vehicle because my vehicle carries my Terminators. The Terminators, there are only 10 come in that box, and I put them all with my Emperor's Children, so I'm going to have to buy another set of 10 to go with my Salamanders. And they have different Terminator abilities anyway, so it works out because I made mine Claw Boys. But yeah, so I put it on upside down. I had already glued it, so when it was pointed out to me that the guns were upside down, I didn't know. I had to break it, and then I could not figure out how to get the top on correctly, so it is literally sticky tacked on. This part I did okay with, and the other gun is just hanging on by a thread, and I'm missing one of the hatch doors. This hatch door is on, but it won't open. It'll break if I open it. That It was a struggle, and I've come to the conclusion that I cannot build vehicles. So this is now going to be a gift to my husband and his orc army. She has a bamboo A1, and I just pulled this off the printer this morning. Um, it's hefty, chunky boy. Now you can already tell it's going to be a little bit bigger. I didn't realize that I didn't have the scaling right when I was printing it, but I don't think it's going to be that big a deal. It's not super, super much bigger. And once all the supports come off, it should look okay. I'm going to set this on my husband's side of the painting table, and let's start removing. Now, I do have really good snips that I am not using for this. My good purple snips are for work that's precious, where I need lots of detail. And I don't want to dull them doing something like this. So these gold snips, I want to say these came in an Army Forge box, I think. And they're not, I'm not calling them cheap. I'm just saying that I'm going to sacrifice some snips. So these are going to be the one. I shouldn't need too many snips. So this I printed with my bamboo A1. And if you've been following me, you know I had some trouble with my bamboo. And it turned out to be just general maintenance that has to be done. So this is printed in PLA. We have PLA and resin printer. This big box you see right here is actually a Mars DLP resin printer, and we have another one because they went on sale because they came out with a new model. So that same one that I got my husband a couple years ago when we were dating. Oh, almost 3 years ago now. Wow, time flies when you're having a great time. I got him a printer for our first Christmas together. The same printer went on sale for like $250. So we were like, no, it was like $200, like $198. So we're like, well, I guess we have two Marses now. So one of them is going to be mine. I'm gonna set it up in my she shed after I finish setting up his garage. But this is PLA. So PLA is a type of plastic. One of the things I like about the bamboo PLA, this particular brand of PLA we use, it is compostable. So I can throw it in the compost bin. So even the waste has use. She likes to grow fruits and veggies. She's a gardening nerd. My office has so many plants in it. I'm kind of glad I got the office in the house I did when I moved down here because I like plants so much. His office it only has one window. Doesn't get enough light. I have a huge picture window in front of mine, so I have tons of plants in there. But what you're seeing me do is break off what are called supports. So wherever there's negative space when you're printing it, I don't think it matters if you're printing in PLA or resin. Negative space needs something to hold it up. Like see here, there's a gap here, so the printer can't the PLA would just ooze out of the nozzle. So when I was having trouble with my printer, it turned out there was maintenance I needed to do. One of those maintenances that I've learned about now is cleaning out the printer nozzle. So after using it for so long, gunk is going to build up in the nozzle. That gunk being PLA, and I guess I should have understood that because with the airbrush, as you use the nozzle, you have to clear it out, and the finer the nozzle, the greater a chance of there being a clog. Now, to be fair, out the box, I had no trouble with my printer, none. It has been printing beautifully for a while. See, look at that way in there. You see those supports? These are actually coming off relatively easy, so I'm super pleased. These are just round-nosed pliers out of my jewelry making kit that is used for Warhammer. I don't use my jewelry making kit to make jewelry. It's for this. You buy stuff for it's something other than its actual use, and it's cheaper. Look at all that. It's crazy. So I needed to clean out the nozzle, and I had to do what was called a dry pull on the nozzle, which means you heat it up, you let the PLA heat up in the nozzle, and then let it cool down rapidly, and then pull backwards, and it just pulls all the junk out. Kind of like, pulling earwax out your ear. But it's a nozzle. That was gross. Sorry, it's the best example I could think of on the fly. So I did that. And then the other thing was, of course, the nozzle itself. So I've been printing in an 04 nozzle. We have ordered an 02 nozzle, which will be a finer print. Which for my airbrush, I tend to use an 05. This came with an 02, and that the smaller the nozzle, the greater a chance of clog, but the finer the detail. So it's a trade-off. I could never find the balance of thinner flow improver and paint on that 02 to make it work for me. So I switched to an 05, and I really haven't had a problem. I know I can get better detail with an 02, but I'm not there yet. At Adepticon, I'll be taking the advanced airbrushing class because I'm beyond novice with an airbrush now. What's funny is when I'm doing this, I actually have a tournament in a few days, and I'm traveling for work that week. But I'm going to airbrush this sucker, so I'm gonna take it out to the garage and primer it with rattle can, and then I'll be able to paint it when I get home. But the other thing was the nozzle. So I ended up replacing the nozzle. The first few things I printed on the bamboo were all with the 04, and they printed fine. One thing about printing in PLA, you will see lines. And if those lines bother you, you can sand them out. So if you can see there's like a little, yeah, bothers some people, doesn't bother me. I have an electric sander. I have a Dremel if I felt like smoothing that out, but on something this big, no. And plus I don't have time. That's just superficiality at that point. And I'm going to put so much paint on it, it's not going to matter. But to some people, that just offends their eyes. I posted some pred tanks I printed, in a Warhammer group that I was in that I will never post in there again because I've posted before, and people started making fun of my models and calling them cheap and ugly, and my print lines were just too offensive. So I mean, I didn't fight back. There's no point in starting internet wars with anonymous trolls. So I just will not post in that group anymore. I know everybody has different feelings about 3D prints. I am very much pro buy the thing from the people. I really am. Because that's how business works. But I just, it was so hard for me to build that thing. And this year, I do plan on doing a Reaver. I have my Titanicus box that I'll be putting together this year, which I'm kind of excited about. I have a little army of Titans. I'm really putting them together for OPR, but from what I understand, Titanicus and Imperialis are really fun, so I probably will end up playing those anyway. But if I like the Reaver, I picked one out last night that I think I want to buy later this year. If I enjoy building that Reaver, next year, she's going to build a Warlord. I have a Warhound whose head I broke off, which I'm going to magnet it back on instead of gluing it back on. But I will fix that when I get home on Friday. It will be my repair my crap day that I've broken before my tournament. You got to have a repair day. And it was my fault too. I was trying to get something in a box on top of it, and I meat fisted it. Trying to see how these go. Like, what is support and what is not. I think some of these little smokestacks printed slightly off center. I'm trying to decide how much I care, because I can break them off and move them. Because once I prime it, it's getting painted and my caring will go away. I can also use some sprue goo to smooth them out. So far, I haven't had to do too much cutting. These are called, the way the supports look here, see how it looks like tree roots? These are called tree supports. And I find these easier to remove. I've done the standard auto supports as well. They come out looking like ribbons, which that does work too, but I have found these easier to remove. You may have had a different experience, and your experience is valid. See how it's supporting that negative space? I'm just pulling that out. But yeah, putting the vehicle together was just... the dreadnoughts were a little frustrating too, especially that Contemptor. The Contemptor is the smallest one, and he just was annoying AF. But I managed to figure it out. I couldn't figure the vehicle out. And the other thing I learned was building my Titan, my first Titan. It was a 3D print as well, and I'm kind of glad it was, because if I do choose to do a Reaver and a Warlord, I'm buying those, obviously. Some advice I got from one of the guys at the shop was to make sure I'm really careful about the posing. I glued my Warhound together by myself, and I probably needed an extra pair of hands to get the posing just right. But we live, we learn. I mean, this is all stuff I'm doing for a game I don't have to play. It's all made up, so it's not that big a deal. I know to some people this is life, and this is all you have. Go get more. But I'm just telling you my process. And I'm getting ready to get back on the road. I have a flight. When I'm filming this, my flight is at like 5:40 tomorrow. So I have to go to bed super early. So my day started early today, and it's ending early so I can get in the bed. Because when I get there, I have to go straight to the office. Yay, me. And then the next day I have to teach. So tomorrow I've got to be alert because I got to do my studying for what I'm teaching. And then the next week I have a trip. And the next week I have a trip. And then it's Adepticon. So 3 weeks of work travel, then Adepticon. God forbid I stay home. But some people are travelers, and I'm definitely a traveler. I actually like traveling. But I'd rather travel for more personal stuff. But work pays the bills, so what else? It's part of it. If you ever decide you want a travel job, just remember what that means. You gonna be gone. It's just part of it. The new position I've taken at work does not require as much travel. But the position I was leaving, they still needed me to help them with a project. So I'm traveling to finish that out, which getting to do one more project with my team is actually kind of fun. Can't even pretend it's not. It's good to see everybody. get out, see my old group one more time, say some proper see you laters, not goodbye, see you later. Because in companies like ours, you're always making moves and, doing new things with your career. And I'm excited to do something new with my career. My official title is still Senior Manager of Learning and Careers, but I am what's called a Client Engagement Manager now. So it's my job to help people in the business I support understand what they need from a learning perspective and figure out how we get them the resources. So I'm super excited about it. It's kind of ideal for me. I enjoy teaching. I kind of get my teaching itch out now in Taekwondo, especially since I'm starting my own class, which this video is for April, so I should have started my class by then. And, if you've kept up with my channel, you know that that's what my AdSense revenue is for. My class is a mission class, a charity class. So I don't charge people to come to my class. We pay for the uniforms and everything else. You just got to come. Because I am specifically doing my class at a center, a charity center for women's health. So I focus on women and kids. And a lot of times can be women and children who are at risk for whatever reason. So this is something they can do. I'm a huge advocate of martial practice. What's the best martial art? The one you do. The one that you do is the best one. As long as it's a legit martial art. There's some weird stuff out there. That I shall not comment on here. This is not that video. Whew, it's a lot of bits to break. It's very ASMR-y. But I'm trying to get as much working out done as possible over the next few weeks as I can, because I know the week of Adepticon I'm not going to the gym. It's going to be all gaming, all shopping, all the time. It's going to be a good time. Yeah. I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited. We're already planning on next year. We haven't gone yet. We don't even know if we like it. He's like, we're going to like it. Yeah, you're right, but still. I'm having to send my Titan with some of our friends who are driving up because I just simply cannot figure out how to pack him for air travel and stay to my allotted carry-ons, because that makeup case I bought to carry my figures, I can't fit the Titan in there without adding an extra bag, and I don't know if they're going to make me count that top as an extra bag or not, because I still need to take my backpack, and I want my army with me, and I'm not putting my army in a suitcase. So, yeah, he's gonna have to hitchhike. Whew, there's a lot of supports. Up here is gonna have to come out too. Actually, I might just be covering that. I don't know what this is. There, it's off. The hard part is figuring out sometimes what's support and what is just a bit of the model. If it comes off easily, it's probably a support. I'm getting there. All these little pieces. I've really enjoyed my printer because it gives me an option when I get frustrated, and for stuff that, just isn't. There's a lot of STL creators out there that we support. My husband specifically likes Mr. Modular Orca because he does all orc models, and my husband loves an orc model, and all of his are custom designed. So, there we go. Wow, so much. So he gets all the works he wants, but he also buys the G-Dubs works. We do both. We're not either or. We're not, we only print, or we only buy straight from the manufacturer. We do both. We do both. And again, I'm doing this because you saw what I did. It was embarrassing. I actually played 30K with some guys. They were helping me learn the rules better. So I played on Sunday, and I brought that janky tank out, and I'm just looking at it like, and that's why I made the decision to print one. Now, how long did this take to print? This one took 26 hours to print. He's big, he's heavy. If I throw this at somebody, it's gonna be a problem. I'm not gonna throw it at anyone. But he's beefy. This is I'm good. Got a little bit of packing left to do. It's fun trying to squeeze so much into a day. Come on. There's little bits in here that I'm getting out now. the underside I won't care so much because nobody's going to see that, but the top side I do want to get all of these little support bits out just to make sure the look is nice and clean. You can see the wheels and stuff. This particular STL creator I'm kind of impressed with because a lot of times you have to print in pieces. So, and then you assemble. This STL creator, I don't know how they did this, but the way that they created this is I was able to drag and drop all the files that make this tank over at once. And then Bamboo Labs, the software, was able to assemble it. And that's why I could print it as one piece. There are more, like right now, I've got a plate printing that has the weapons. And the weapons, again, have multiple pieces. But the way that they design this, well, that was awesome. Now I'm going to have to stitch these videos together because I ran out of storage space. So there's a jump cut. I'm trying to get this done within the next 30 minutes. This is going to be a long video. I may not record all of it because it's boring. But, you know, this is part of the fun. There are so many ways to enjoy the hobbies. You know, do what works for you. My husband and I are fortunate enough, I think I've talked about it. You know, I'm not going to give you all our business, but, you know, we're both white-collar nerds. And if you want to have expensive hobbies, you're going to need a job that pays. That's all I can tell you. I mean, cool thing was the travel to Adepticon is actually not super expensive. I've never been to Milwaukee. One of my Taekwondo students, former Taekwondo students, was up there. I'm going to go visit her while I'm there. And so that's going to be kind of great. But if you want to participate in expensive nerd hobbies, choose your career wisely. You don't have to be a white-collar nerd. Tradesman jobs pay well. I've got a friend who only works 6 months out of the year. They run undersea fiber, and they repair undersea fiber, so they hit it hard for 6 months, and then they go live on their boat. I'm not even kidding. Going between America and South America and Central America because they can. So the cold months, they are out hitting it hard, and then when the weather improves and it's good weather, they pick the good weather months to go live their best life as a beach bum. Jealousy. You know, you want to have expensive nerd hobbies. Gotta make that nerd money. Yeah, it takes time. You know, one of the things I point out when people look at my collection and stuff is that collection I have didn't happen in a day. That's 30 years of collecting. 30 years, honey. And not all of it I bought. There are things back there, quite a few actually, that people gave to me. You know, I've known generous people over the years who were kind enough to give me some cool stuff. Some of it's birthday presents. Some of it is I was a teenager working in the mall, and every paycheck I got, I went and bought stuff because that's what you do when you're a teenager. I just have, for some stuff, it's just a matter of having been born. Like people who have like really old Star Wars figures and stuff like that. It's because, you know, they were a kid when it came out, so they got it when it was $5 instead of $305, and now it's a collector's item. That's the thing. Sometimes you don't know if stuff is going to become a collector's item. Like my Sailor Moon stuff, I didn't know when I was collecting it that those were going to become collectibles. Like I have the Sailor Saturn, the 11-inch in the box. But again, that was a gift that was given to me for my birthday when I was 19, I think. 18 or 19, somewhere in there. And even back then, Sailor Saturn has always been the rarest of the scouts to get a hold of. Boy, I might let those supports stay because once I put the thing on, no one's going to see them. It's almost tall enough to put the Marines in. Maybe I'm not sad it's oversized. Somebody's going to say something. And I'm going to employ the power of girl. I'm sorry, I didn't know. This is going to be I might need to get some longer pliers. I might even get all the way in there to get everything. Holy cow. Whew. Look at all these tree supports that I have to, might have to give my husband a job while I'm gone to finish this and prime it for me. Because I don't know if I'll have enough time because I have to finish packing. The adulthood, man. Let me see how much of it I can get off. Go back to the outside. The inside's on my nerves. It's kind of cool. It feels like you're digging for buried treasure. Because every pull, every snip is just another discovery. I didn't realize how many videos I had on my iPad. It's kind of cool having multiple ways to record. Because no matter where I am, whether I'm traveling or in the house or whatever, I can pretty easily make videos happen. I used to record on my phone quite a bit when I started, but now I have, I don't want to say real cameras, but, my new laptop it has a fantastic camera. I've been enjoying recording on it. I'm going to get back to my top-down view videos now that I've got the new setup. Video editing was hard on the Surface. That's just not what it was designed for. The Surface isn't a bad computer. When I was working on my last degree, it was perfect. I'm keeping it for that. I'm going to start my master's here in a couple of months. And it's perfect for doing schoolwork and stuff. And it's an older Surface too. It's like 4 years old, 3 or 4 years old. So I've had it a while. And it is perfect for schoolwork. But for the graphic design, editing and stuff, it's not what it was made for. So I'm kind of glad to have a better computer, because now I can do other types of videos I really wasn't doing well. Like, I did them, but they weren't great. Because if you notice, when I was editing, reading against like a top-down paint video or trying to narrate over a painting video, because I've got the top-down camera right here, my lip sync wasn't matched up. It's because I just didn't have the processing power. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten today. I need to go eat something. My husband's going to watch this and be like, why didn't you get up and eat something? Because I was on a mission. This was more important. Whew, doggy. This is work. What have I gotten myself into? The most. I'm so hungry. And I'm going to work out this afternoon, so I really do need to eat something. And I have to go to bed at like 6 p.m. because I have to get up at stupid o'clock. Yeah. I love condensed days. They're fun. Okay, well, this is just going to be more of the same, y'all. My hands need a break. Besides, my lunch hour is almost over anyway. So that's all I can get done. I might let my husband finish it when he gets off work. Whew, pray for me. I'll get it done. It will be done. Until the meantime, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.